All right, y'all. So Denzel Washington, TD Jakes sat down, had a conversation. I took notes. I wrote down 3 specific moments that I wanted to watch with y'all and then have a conversation about. Honestly, it's really 2. So 2 moments and then plus a bonus moment. Let's call it that. The first moment, very interesting. TD Jakes is having a conversation about Hollywood, and he's kind of alluding to the fact that Hollywood is dark, but in terms of Denzel's reputation in Hollywood, it's always been positive. It's always been light as opposed to darkness. And Denzel Washington has a very interesting reaction to what he says. I want to talk about that. The second moment that I want to show y'all, it happens around like 27 minutes. The only note that I wrote down for the second moment is that it gets a little weird because there was a moment, it got a little weird. And I just want to have a conversation about it. And then the last moment is a bonus moment. So that's going to be a surprise. Let's start right here. So Denzel is having a conversation with TD Jakes. TD Jakes tells Denzel that he interviewed some actors and actresses that had worked with Denzel in the past. And this is what they had to say.
You brought them to the stage. I interviewed them while I was doing a talk show in Hollywood. This is what they told me about you. They told me that you were as much a director, producer, as you were a pastor. They said you started every morning with prayer.
Right.
They said they were spiritually enriched up under your leadership because of your consciousness of God.
Well, thank you.
Now look, I've been on the set a few times myself, not nearly what you've done. But it is not normal to start the day with prayer.
It's not.
No.
No, I didn't hear what you
It's
said.
not normal to start the day with prayer.
Well, I don't know what other people do, but
I mean on the set. I'm not talking about in your personal life.
Yeah.
To have the boldness of faith to bring a crew together and say, let's pray before we start. I'm not seeing a lot of people do that in Hollywood.
Where are we? What town are we in? Or in Charlotte. For that, it's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah, or in Charlotte.
People talk about Hollywood like it's a place where evil things happen. Los Angeles is a city.
Yeah.
There's no place called Hollywood. We don't all get together and have Hollywood meetings. And Hollywood is a street in Los Angeles. I'm in the movie business.
Right.
I'm not in the Hollywood. I don't even know what the Hollywood business is.
Right.
I don't know how to do that. I make movies. I do plays. I direct and act.
That being said, and that is absolutely true, and I've been on both sides of the street. I don't demonize what is called quote unquote Hollywood. I'm just saying in the course of doing business, not every person in business brings the cast together and has prayer.
True.
That doesn't happen. Why does that happen with you?
Because I was raised right. I don't know. My father was a minister.
I know your father was a minister.
Father was a minister.
He's a PK, y'all. Give it up, PKs.
Church of God in Christ.
Church of God in Christ.
Yeah. My mother grew up in, folks not old enough, Kelly Temple in New York City. Okay. My mother grew up in that church. And
see you at home.
I see.
Evidently, being raised in the faith, you still are involved in the faith. You still have been a loyal supporter of West Angeles. You've done some amazing things down through the years. You have helped Bishop Blake in amazing ways. You have helped many people start and launch their careers. You have financed historically black colleges. You have been extremely philanthropic.
So, I thought it was interesting that he felt the need to make that distinction between what we say and how we refer to the entertainment industry as Hollywood, right? Which is simply a figure of speech. Hollywood acts as a placeholder for the entertainment industry at large for a lot of people's vocabulary, right? But I think it's interesting that he made that distinction between, Hollywood and the movie business that he's in. I think that's very interesting. I also thought it was interesting how TD Jakes, and listen, I commend him for pressing and poking at that question even further, because he had to get that out of Denzel. He had to ask that multiple times in different ways. But I don't know why he said that he doesn't demonize. There is some demonic stuff that goes on in the entertainment industry. There is. which is why he's asking that question, because that's not normal to pray on set before filming a movie. That's not normal. Oftentimes we hear about the opposite stuff. We hear about, people doing a whole bunch of witchcraft and other type of calling on different spirits and allowing spirits to possess them. That's what some other actresses and actors have said in the past. So that's definitely counter what we hear in terms of what goes on in the movie business. But regardless, very interesting. Let's continue.
Have a different rhythm in your soul. Is that coming from your faith?
That's sad that you say that, have to even say that, because that's what we all should do.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be. There's nothing exceptional about.
Should. Emphasis on the word should. But without sitting here talking to me, that is exceptional. That very few people have the kind of temperament, especially that lasts that long and started that young. We have not seen you. We've seen you do sexy scenes, but we have not seen your body.
Okay. This is a part where I wrote in my notes, it gets a little weird. It got a little weird.
You have not prostituted yourself in any film at any time.
Oh, you haven't seen all the movies then. You ain't seen.
Yeah.
A couple of them you ain't seen.
I saw you down to your drawers, but I don't recall. Okay, let's keep it real.
I did a little bumping and grinding. I did a little.
Yeah, you did a little bumping and grinding, but you never, yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Edit this out the tape.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep it real for a minute. You didn't put your everything out there, let me say it like that,
Right.
to get a role. Why didn't you, and are you glad you did?
I had a mentor in college my senior year when I really just started acting, and he talked to me about never having to compromise, myself, and I remembered that wasn't necessary, and I got that guy. I mean, I just been blessed beyond measure. I found out early in college that I had this unique ability. So, and things that were happening in my life, I don't know, some people maybe have heard me talk about a woman prophesied when I was.
I want to pause for a second because I thought that was extremely interesting what he said. Because and this is known by accounts of people who have been and currently are in the industry and the things that they have said. But even the fact that his mentor told him not to compromise. And I guess that could apply for any industry, to be honest. Like there's opportunities to compromise within any industry that we are in. It's not just limited to the entertainment industry, but the entertainment industry oftentimes has higher rewards based on how we understand that to be on this earth. So what's at stake in order for you to compromise is oftentimes perceived to be much larger, which is why people do some very crazy stuff in Hollywood. They do. And they, he talked about it. He talked about it. I think it's also very cool just to see this shift within Denzel and a focus more towards on highlighting his faith. Because I can't remember, I did a video, man, this probably had to be like a year ago. You remember that video where he preached the message? I don't remember where he was, but he preached the message and he told the same story that he's about to tell in terms of the woman that prophesied over him at the hair salon. And I said in that video, I'm very interested to see where this goes and how God uses Denzel from this point on. So it's just cool to see him have these conversations. And I know there's going to be some people who are like, oh, well, TD Jakes and, yada, yada, yada. And I get it. I understand. I understand that point of view. But, don't minimize and diminish what's happening within Denzel Washington's heart and how he's choosing to use his platform simply because you may not like an individual. You know what I mean? Let's continue.
20 years old, she said, boy, you're going to travel the world and preach to millions of people. She didn't say you're going to be famous. She didn't say you're going to win Oscars. She didn't say any of those things. She said, you are going to travel. By the way, I was flunking out of college. I had a 1.7 grade point average. I was in my mother's beauty shop, and the reason I was in her beauty shop was because I was not in school. I was not in school that semester. And this woman, Miss Ruth Green, had this prophecy that is coming true.
It's coming true.
It's coming true.
I talked to you on the phone, and I told you that I believe that you have something down inside of you beyond acting from a spiritual perspective that is awakening. If you agree with that, tell us what that feels like. And that has shown up in your work. It has shown up off camera. What is evolving in you now from a spiritual perspective?
It's just that. It's evolving. You know, I remember talking to Bishop Blake years ago. I said, well, you know, should I become a preacher? Should I? He said, no, you have your pulpit. You know, and use it. So I do have everybody talks about a platform. I got a pretty, I guess, big platform, whatever you call it.
You got a pretty big
platform. So I try to use it for good. Use it.
I mean, hey, that's the primary thing, right? And I think we all have a platform. Now, the size might be a little bit different, but the significance, in my opinion, is the same. Because, you know, we serve a God who leaves the 99 for the one. So if you can point one person in the direction of Jesus Christ, that is significant. All of heaven rejoices. And I think we all have to do our best to use our platform for just what he said, for good. And I also like what he said in terms of, you know, the prophecy is evolving. You know, that walk with God, it's a process, and how it's revealing itself in his calling specifically and where he's stationed, that's actively evolving before our very eyes. And I think that's dope. I do. I think it's dope. I was going to show y'all one more moment, the bonus moment, but I'm not going to do that. So y'all gonna have to go watch it if you want to go watch it to figure out what that was. But let me know what y'all think. Get in my comments, like this video. I'm out, y'all.